And now on to the story where politics has impacted sports. Despite diplomatic efforts to restore cricketing ties with Pakistan, the BCCI shot off a letter to PCB saying that the team or the Indian cricket team will not travel to Pakistan for next year's Champions Trophy. Instead, they want to play at a neutral venue. There's a possibility of some of the matches taking place in Dubai. The Indian team was scheduled to play all their matches in Lahore, and the schedule has been drawn. To talk more about this decision and this moment, we are joined by former IPS officer Yashovardhan Azad, who gave a green signal to Indian team to travel to Pakistan back in 2004. Senior sports journalist Rakesh Rao will also be joined by former Pakistan cricketer Sikandar Bakht to talk more on this. Mr. Azad, if I may come to you, good evening, sir. Is it BCCI's hesitancy in sending the team, or the Indian players do not want to go and play in Pakistan? What do you think is this? How do you read this situation?
Neither. Actually, is the government decision not to play the championship trophy in Pakistan. See, first, let me tell you, it's a very, very difficult thing to play in Pakistan. You know, even if you make a decision that you have to play over there, you have to send a recce team. And the kind of situation which is prevailing there, whether you get it from the intelligence agencies or the law and order situation there, it's going to be very, very difficult. You can't set a precedent by saying that the other teams are playing there, because the kind of threat perception which the Indian team has is extremely high. And let me tell you that when I went for doing a recce all over from Multan to Peshawar to Karachi, it was not easy. And that's why a lot of adjustments had to be made. That in Karachi we'll play only one day. In Peshawar we'll change our routes 10 times. We'll only have a day match. And another thing which is very, very important is that the same route which we secured with so much of meetings about heli rescue, all kinds of things, is the same route in Lahore where the Lankan team was attacked later,
right.
and they had come back. Similarly, the same hotels which we stayed in, and we had made elaborate arrangements like Marriott and all that, they were bombed later. So I think playing there, it's not really a political thing. It's already a huge security thing. And also the government's stand that if you have terrorism, then we can't play with you. And I kind of tend to agree with that.
Okay, I'll come back to you on the question of security situation. I will go to Rakesh Rao now. Rakesh, the schedule of Champions Trophy has already been drawn. The schedule as it is right now says that India's matches are in Lahore. There was an option given to them to travel back home after every match. How difficult is it to redraw a schedule once it is already in place?
See, that shouldn't be so difficult, because, see, let's just face it, it is the ICC's tournament and not Pakistan's tournament. ICC can very well pull out India from there and say, look, if you could travel, I mean, according to the plans given to Pakistan and what they offered, that India can, hop in and hop out of Lahore. If that was possible, then you can add a couple of hours to it, and then the teams can also go to Dubai and come back. So I think that plan was just to keep India's interests alive and to tell the world that, look, Pakistan was trying to just say that we are ready for the tournament. We are doing up all the renovations and we are doing whatever that we can. Having said that, India's stand has been consistent, so the board has very little to do with it. Let's not say that board has a choice or the players are feeling insecure. No, the players and the board has no choice. Tomorrow the government says, go and play, they will go and play. As simple as that. So if Pakistan is saying that, look, we need this tournament for India to come and play, and not that, that Pakistan, of course, needs its tournament, let's face it. But if India can afford to say, look, we have our reasons, and they are very legitimate reasons. And India has stuck to the stand. So there's no change in the situation for India to change its stand. A. B, let's face it, that if India contributes, India's share in the overall revenue, I'm also touching upon India not playing the tournament, says, okay, you go ahead and play. We, by choice, we want to stay out of it. Let's not forget, out of the 600 million that the ICC makes, India's contribution is as high as 231 million out of 600, and Pakistan's share is a mere 37. So when you look at these numbers, ICC is not going to get influenced by anything. No India, no tournament is what is unwritten, unsaid. But the point is, India says, if we are willing to play a hybrid kind of a format, I think ICC will definitely look into it. And Pakistan has no choice. Let's face it.
Sikandar Bakshi joins us on the show, is former Pakistan cricketer. Sikandar ji, you heard what our experts on the show has been saying about the letter that Jai Shah has sent to PCB today. Tell us a little bit about what's the reaction been on ground, what's the reaction been in Pakistan?
We are very disappointed, and the gentleman in the whites who had just spoken about the security arrangements and the route he has been visited Karachi, I'm very sorry to say I don't agree with him. He must be a government official. That's why he is supporting the government. Otherwise, there is no, it's a lame excuse. 2 years back, you can see my tweet. 2 years back, I told the Pakistanis, all the Pakistanis, that Indians will never tour Pakistan. It's there in their nature. It's in their nature that at the last moment they withdraw. They just don't want to come and play in Pakistan. It's a lame excuse. The Australians are here, the Britishers are here, the New Zealanders are here. They are more fussy about the security than the Indians. But it's a lame excuse. It's the government which doesn't want to play. We are very friendly. We always come. I told the Pakistanis not to visit and not to go to India for the World Cup, because they are not going to come and play in Pakistan 2 years back. So the security things which that gentleman has just explained in the white shirt, I don't know his name, it's lame excuse. There's nothing like that. Everybody is safe. He's talking about the Sri Lankan attack. It was 20 years back. So he should forget about it. Everything is changed. So okay. I think it's a lame excuse, and the Pakistanis are really disappointed. It's just depriving the cricket fans from watching the Indian cricketers.
Sikandar Bakshi, Yashwardhan Azad is the same man who had given a green signal to the 2003-2004 tour of India, of India to Pakistan. In fact, he travelled with the delegation. He had gone for a recce. Had it not been his feedback to the MHA, Indian team wouldn't have landed there. But let me take this question
when was that?
Let me take this question to Mr. Azad. Yes, you were telling something. Please go on.
No. When was the Indian team came the last time? Was he the person who visited Pakistan for the security? You were talking about 23-24?
Yes.
When was it?
Sir, would you like to take that up, Mr. Azad?
Yeah, I couldn't hear Mr. Bhatt because it was the sound. Could you repeat the question for me?
No, he was asking which tour have you been on and what of Pakistan did you see during that tour?
I don't know why Mr. Bhatt wants to know which tour I was in. I mean, everyone knew in Pakistan that I went before the 2004-2005 tour, and I went from all the way from Karachi to Peshawar to Multan to Faisalabad to Pindi to Lahore. There was not a single place where I didn't visit. And I saw every bit, and I had excellent contact with the policemen there and the army generals who did a terrific job, and it was a great tour. But let me tell you that for that we had tremendous, a series of negotiations. We refused a test match in Karachi. We refused a test match in Peshawar. We had one-dayers over there. We planned the visits in a manner that it was just landing, practicing, and then playing and getting back. So it's not so easy just to say that because the other teams are playing, that we should also play there. Those hotels were bombed. Those routes were also later bombed when Lanka went there. And as far as the threat to Indian team is concerned, it's absolutely severe. So there is no doubt, and I have no doubt about the capability of the police over there. I've had some excellent relations with them. But just to say that India can go and play anytime and anywhere, I don't think that's true.
No, Mr. Azad, my
No.
question really is that you traveled there in 2003, 4, you gave the tour
20
a
years
green
back.
signal. How different is it now from then?
Absolutely different. I'll tell you why. There was a dictator there called Musharraf. He wanted the match very, very badly. In fact, he wanted a test in Karachi also, but we denied that. Musharraf was greatly interested in cricket. And let me tell you, when I went for the meeting with the generals and the Home Secretary, in fact, he called me aside and he said, I understand your concerns. At that time, they said the same thing. There is no threat at all. I said, I don't mind, law and order situation, but I don't want a distinct threat because your dictator Musharraf was himself attacked twice near Rawalpindi, and their policemen had showed me the place. So from the helicopter evac to almost everything, I got a carte blanche, and they got the presidential scale of security. Once you have this level scale of security, only then we allowed the team to go from here.
Right.
That is very, very difficult
Ma'am.
in this regime today.
Yes, Mr. Bhakt, you were wanting to say something.
Mr. Azad is talking about 20 years back. 20 years back, he's talking about it. And these are the people who deny the cricket fans to watch their stars. These are the people who have a negative mindset. I'm very sorry. I live in Karachi. Everything is safe. 20 years back, Sri Lankan team was attacked. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen every day. It's 20 years back. For God's sake, 20 years back, he's talking about 20 years back. How can you do that? That means your mindset, or the government official has a mindset of not sending the team to Pakistan. They have something in their mind. Otherwise, everything is safe. Everything is under control in Pakistan. I'm very sorry. I do not accept that.
Rakesh, let me take this question to you. While India does not want to visit Pakistan clearly because of the political situation as well as the threat perception, when we look at the Pakistan Cricket League roster, there are players from all over the globe. Does it really justify them to come there and not for India to travel to Pakistan?
Rika, see, we need to understand one very clear thing here. I mean, don't compare what the interests of other players are vis-a-vis India, number one. Number two, it is the government's stand. If they say security, that could be a reason, yes. And that is a valid reason, I'm saying, and that cannot be the only reason. Mr. Bhatt says that it happened 20 years ago. Yes, factually, he's absolutely right. But the point here is, we are, whenever there is a talk, wherever our foreign minister talks, or any discussion at the highest level takes place, India makes it very clear that you are a terrorist state and you are sending people into our country whom we don't want, and that has to end. And that has been part of the entire dialogue, and that no Pakistani journalist or otherwise is willing to address. Say that, look, and now you can't say that, no, let's not mix cricket and sports and this thing. Of course, even when you watch their television, they say you still hear words like, like Dushman Desh or something like that. Isn't that, and you talk yourself as, like you're friendly? Of course, man of the street can be, yes. But overall, there is a part of Pakistan which is definitely anti-India, and we can't risk sending our players given the current situation and what happens every day from whatever is sent across the border from there to here. So let's not, let's face it. Let's address it in as many words. Let's not hide behind words and try to say that, no, cricket shouldn't suffer. Cricket and cricketers should not suffer. And, like rest of the activities will happen. If Pakistan has an issue, why does it come to India? It should say, we don't want to come and play in India. That choice you always had. Why don't you exercise that choice? Like, why?
Can I say something?
If you say that Indians have an agenda, surely, sir, I'll just take 30 seconds. All I'm trying to say is that if you take a stand, if India can very straight away say, we don't want to come and play in your country, reason A, B, C, D, whatever it is, you say we reciprocate that. Oh, we don't want to come to India and play. Period. Let's see what happens next.
Right. Rakesh, let's take it to Mr. Bhatt. Yes, please, sir, go on.
Madam, listen.
Yeah,
I agree with him. I told last time that not to visit. I told the government not to visit, take a stand. And what Mr. Roy has just said, that we are a terrorist state, with due respect, we also have the same feeling for you guys. We also believe you guys do the terrorists in Pakistan. You do the act too. So I'm sorry. We have the same feelings. If you have that feeling that we are the terrorist state, we are doing terrorism in your country, we have the same feeling
Then
for you guys.
reciprocate our act. If we don't come to your country, don't come to our country. No,
Yeah,
exercise
I
our
totally
option.
agree with you. We don't want to come.
I think Mr.
told them
Azad
not to
also
come.
has a point to make.
I totally
I'll go
agree
over
with
to
you.
him. Yes, Mr. Azad, please go ahead.
Yes. Let me remind Mr. Bhatt. First of all, I'm a great fan of his cricket. He was a great cricketer. And I have some great friends there, Javed Biamdad, Wasim Akram, Ejaz, so many of them. But the question is, 20 years later, Mr. Bhatt, things have really not changed. In fact, the things were a little better in 2004-5 because your dictator Musharraf was there. Today, there are a lot of issues. I'm not talking about you as a terrorist state, but Indian government is rightly concerned over the attacks from the border. And if it makes a decision and says politically that we cannot play, if there are state-inspired attacks coming from there, you can't blame them. I was the one who gave the clearance despite tremendous opposition. So I should understand, I'm a sportsman at heart, but if the government has a reason and we have a reason about security implications, you should just appreciate it. That's all. Let's not, condemn each other. I have all the great respect for your policemen over there and the people of Pakistan who gave me tremendous, swagat and all kinds of best things I had there. That's true. But facts are
Listen,
facts.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Mr. Azad, Mr. Azad, you said we attacked on the border. Who came to Pakistan in the aeroplane and was caught in Pakistan? Your guy. Your guy was caught in Pakistan. His plane was drawn because he came into Pakistan and attacked us. Please don't say that. Please don't say that Pakistan attacked your border. Don't say that we are a terrorist state. If you say that, then you have to accept that you also do terrorism in Pakistan. We also know that. We are not, we are not kids. We also read. We know everything. I have friends in everything. I have friends in police. I have friends in army. I have friends in ISI. Everywhere. I know each and everything. Where the Indians come and penetrate and spread terrorism in Pakistan. They do it. You know it.
Okay.
You know it. You're
Yes.
smiling,
Can I
you're
say
laughing,
something?
you know it. You
Can
do
I
it.
say something?
Yes, sir. Mr. Azad, please go on.
Then why should two terrorist states play each other anywhere?
No,
You have to
so,
become
here's
friends.
a
You want to
question.
become friends. No,
If
you don't
you-
want to become friends. It's your choice.
Right.
No,
If
no.
you don't want to play, you have to
See,
finish
we
this.
all are fans
So
of
two
fans
terrorist
of
states should
cricket.
not play
We all
each
are
other.
fans of India-Pakistan cricket. I will have to take the closing notes from Mr. Azad and really ask this as a cricket fan. Do we not see India-Pakistan play on Pakistani soil in near future? What is your assessment of the situation? And what is that point, sir, we can think of sending the team to Pakistan to see a full test series maybe?
See, there are 2-3 issues, and I'm glad you got back to the important point. First is, I would love India to play in Pakistan. I mean, Pakistani cricketers, one better than the other, and I'm myself a fan of Babar Azam, and most of them, very great friends of mine too.
You make that two
The
on the
issue
panel.
here- Yeah, the issues here are two, and they are very, very grave issues. First is that if you play in Pakistan, the security issues are paramount. There is
Right.
no doubt about it. It's absolutely paramount. That is one, and it needs a hell lot of work. It doesn't show from outside, but it means a hell of a lot. I mean, I can in a different discussion say what are the things we went through, what is the kind of information we got, and what are the things with the cooperation of the Pakistani authorities I was able to do in Karachi and other places. The second issue is a government stand. And mind you, it's very, very important to say that the national interests are paramount in this particular case. Playing cricket is beautiful. Why not play in Dubai? But why should one play in Pakistan, taking all that attendant risks? Now, in the future, yes. You know what? I don't think the attacks across the border will recede in the near future. Now, that's a reality. Any government comes, there'll be a series of attacks. And I have a feeling that a few decades beyond, these attacks will recede on their own when they realize the sheer futility of it. That's the time when we can actually talk. So no matter what Pakistan says, that whether we are terrorists and they are not, it's fine if we are terrorists and Pakistan is a very lovely state. But the point is, the decision is correct. When we have attacks from the border across, why should we play match? For what?
Right.
Is cricket important or national interest important?
Right.
So I don't see any changes in the future.
So for all cricket fans, the wait extends and we have to wait much longer to see Indian cricket team travel to Pakistan if the situation like this continues. Thank you very much, Mr. Azad, Mr. Bakt and Rakesh for joining me on the broadcast to discuss the issue this evening.